say he's dead. This is my HK SP5 SBR. Where do I even start with this thing? So first and foremost, I've had it for about, what, 2.5 or so years now. Also, I have no relationship with HK or any of the companies that make parts for this gun. I'm not being paid to make this video, so just as a disclaimer, I guess we're gonna do this kind of as a build breakdown. So unlike Grantham, I'm gonna start from the back. In the back here, we have a B&T collapsible stock. Moving forward, we have the Lee Sporting lower trigger group or trigger pack. I have a Geissele SD3G trigger in it, which if you don't know, is a fantastic trigger. In my opinion, we can ghost it together. There's really no definitive wall. It's a really, really light break. I don't know if I would call it crisp because there is no wall. I mean, it is crisp, but there's not a definitive wall. That's kind of the claim to fame with the SD3G. But it is a drastic improvement over the factory trigger group and trigger pull that is just awful in my opinion. Moving forward, I have a B&T Picatinny mount for the SP5. We have a American Defense Manufacturing quick detach acro mount, and of course the aim point acro. I'm a big fan of pistol dots on pistol caliber carbines or just smaller guns. I also like to run them very low. All the riser things and stuff that's out there, I mean, it's cool. I understand where it's comfy for some people, but for me, you just can't beat the comfort of coming up to it, and also knowing that I don't have to hold under at certain distances, which I think is kind of weird and counterintuitive in my opinion. So anyways, that's why I have the American Defense Manufacturing mount on there. It's nice and short, pistol dot on there, just because to keep the whole thing compact. If I were to put Neotech on here, the footprint would be pretty big. I feel like that's more equipped for stuff like my AR. We have a Mod Light PLH V2. I don't remember what this body is called, but it's their just smaller battery or smaller body. Surefire tail cap on there with the constant click on, with a temporary pad with a mod button here. I do have it set up on an M-lock switch or an M-lock holder, so when I got big hands, so I reach all the way around, I tap it with my middle finger like that. On here we have rail scales. This is their G10 rail scales. These things are awesome. I really don't know how else to put it. These things are great. I never really thought that something so small could be such a fine piece of equipment, but these things are awesome. Up front we have a Silencer Co. Omega 9K. This can is really freaking sweet, man. It's a tiny suppressor, but running subs, which I'm shooting Jello shots, or formerly known as Jello shots. These are probably my favorite subsonic round. I don't know if they actually even make these anymore, but I'm a huge fan of these. I have like 3,000 of them, so I should probably stop shooting them so liberally. But yeah, this Omega 9K, I mean, I don't know why I didn't buy one of these things like 8 years ago, 5 years ago. It's such a small suppressor, but running subsonic ammo, it's really quite fantastic. I'll give you a sound comparison between this and the much larger This is the B&T RBS SQD. Not a big fan of this suppressor. The mounting system is not that great. It is going to go back to B&T. I do have a video coming out about it, but I think these things need a little bit of work. And this is what I mean by the mounting system. So with it all the way locked in there, it shifts. And it also likes to jump around on the end of your gun while you're shooting. But anyway, sound clip. I honestly I mean, what do you think? Do you think that one's quieter or this one?
I think this one is quieter.
This one, you think?
Like just a smidge, but it doesn't feel very like safe.
Proportionately though.
Proportionately, yeah, no.
Is it 2 times as quiet? Maybe
No,
even 3
no,
times
no.
with the volume.
Not at all.
With the diameter. Yeah, I don't think so. So I much prefer the shorter Omega 9K. I mean, it gets the job done. It takes a bite out of it. I'm not shooting supersonic ammo out of this thing, so it really doesn't matter to me. Oh, I almost forgot. We have a B5 Systems. This is a vertical foregrip. I just checked it the other day on their website. I did chop it. And we have the Arisaka hand stop up front. I don't know, for pushing up against barriers or like the wood. Like you said, it just feels nice to have something in front of my fingers of it. I'm jamming on something. But this thing really is awesome. I love it. I stopped shooting it for a little while because the factory trigger pack just kind of sucks. Or I got kind of bored with it. I went through a ton of different triggers and trigger packs on HK parts, really avoiding, I knew about the Lee Sporting Lower. For the longest time, I was really just avoiding spending that much on a trigger pack, but with the amount of money that I wasted or ended up returning and had to pay the restock fee or whatnot, I should have just freaking bought this to begin with. So huge shout out to Lee Sporting. They're not sponsoring me, they're not paying me to say this. It's just it's a small company, and man, he makes some cool stuff. Like this is a Radian 45-degree safety switch. It's the same one that's on my Radian ADAC lower for my 300 blackout. It's an AR safety switch. And then we have an AR trigger in it, and it also fits AR pistol grips. So these, I feel like this has a really aggressive grip angle, but the MOE Plus does match the exact footprint very closely. The only thing that's different, I think, is the trigger guard here, but it does match very, very closely the factory trigger group of the MP5, which I kind of wanted it to, like, you know, if you were standing way back and you looked at this thing, you go, yeah, that's an MP5, rather than me put some sort of crazy grip on here that would take away from the nostalgic look of it. Also with this Lee Sporting Lower, you get to use your other mag release, which I honestly haven't ever even used. It's like an AR style mag release, but the factory trigger group, it's got a bunch of extra plastic here that doesn't really allow you to easily access that, and so I just always use the paddle down here. But now with that Lee Sporting Lower, you can. So I've been shooting this thing a whole lot more since I got this trigger group, just because, like, it's completely changed the gun for me. Not only is it more solid, there's no wobble in between it's not really an upper and lower, but in between the trigger pack and the gun itself. But it's just such an absolute pleasure to shoot. I mean, like, I would probably take this over a binary just for the sake of, like, binaries are cool, but I don't see a whole lot of people using them to train with. They're kind of just like mag dumping deals. So I would almost prefer this. I haven't shot a real MP5 yet. Hopefully I will get to soon, and we'll see what that's like. But yeah, this trigger pack is awesome. This gun is really freaking cool. It's probably gonna be my new truck gun. I'm trying something different here, by the way. We're not sitting at a table, we're sitting outside, tailgating, if you will. And I'm just kind of talking about stuff. So that's really pretty much all I got for you guys. Oh, I forgot what I have my flashlight mounted up to. It's just another Arisaka mount. I might change that out in the future a little bit. Oh, and these are pretty slick. Now I should have just gotten the shorter cable for the mod light, but I didn't, so I had to coil this thing up and zip tie it up. But Arson Machining makes these little wire cable management clips. I think I have them. I showed them on my 300 blackout and my AR, but these things are freaking sweet. They just help keep everything all nice and tucked and organized, so you're not snagging on anything. But yeah, I really think that's it. So T7 update though for you guys. I am sending it back to Tom. It does work on half the ammo I have. It has had some other issues that I spoke about in my previous video, so I think it would just be right to send it to Tom to give him a chance to fix this thing and send it back to me. I do plan on making an update video with it when it comes back, whatever condition it is in. So if it comes back with the same malfunctions, I'm gonna make a video on it. And if it comes back working great, I'm gonna make a video on it regardless. So at this point, it's kind of gonna be out of my hands. It's gonna be up to Tom, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys like the 4th of July video. And I got some more, I got a couple Form 1s approved on some stuff. So I'll bring those out now, here in the next couple videos. But that's really all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching.